Mongoose Jake here with one of the new Nerf AccuTroopers, which basically is, for all first impressions, it's a repainted Elite Alpha Trooper. I don't see anything different from other than the color, the fact that it comes with a 25 round drum, which also has a new paint job on it, and as best can tell is a Nerf copy of their old Super Soaker stock, or also a reworking of the worker version of that stock, which itself was a copy of the Super Soaker detachable stock. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unbox this, we're going to take a quick look at it, and I'm also going to do a chronograph test compared to my orange and yellow Elite Alpha Trooper. And we'll see if it's exactly as I suspect, which is just a repaint, nothing else, along with the new AccuStrike darts. That's where it gets its name. If it's that, hey, is it still worth the entry cost? Which I did get this on pre-order from Walmart.com for around $40. So we're going to take a look at this real quick, and we're going to do a quick comparison like I said, and I'll give my impressions of it. So here we go. Okay, so included in the package, you get the blaster, the drum, stock, and 25 of the AccuStrike darts, which are the better darts from Nerf. Their Elite darts are very mediocre. These are actually pretty good, and these are one of my top rated darts in my personal testing. I don't care for them as much as BuzzBee Precise Pros, but they're pretty good, and they are my favorite Nerf branded darts. But I'm going to open these up, and we'll load it up here, and I'm going to take some of them, put them in my previous Elite Alpha Trooper. So I'm going to use some brand new darts as you've seen me unpackage them. I'll fire a few through the chronograph and get some performance readings. Okay, first up will be 5 shots from my original Elite Alpha Trooper, which I've left stock. Okay, you see there it ranged anywhere from a low in the 40s to a best of 75, with the average falling just under 70. That's pretty typical for an Elite Alpha Trooper. It has about the same power as a Retaliator or so. So here is the AccuTrooper, and as you'll see, this does not have the same front end. Something I'll get to later. Okay, round about the same performance. So let's get to my overall impressions here. Okay, here we are looking at something I mentioned, the poor paint job of the AccuTrooper. What you're seeing there is the overspray and a very poorly defined line on the black stripes. That there near the Nerf symbol is very, very pronounced, and you can actually see some black overspray right here on the orange. That's nowhere near the stripe, and that's not a scratch or a scuff, that's actually black paint. But this section right here is very noticeable, and flipping the blaster over, you can see that's on both sides. I mean, there is a little chunk missing right there where they didn't mark it off properly. This is basically, and you can see there they didn't get down in where there's a indentation. It's just it would be what we would call a poor paint job if this was a paint job done by a modder, because it's basically just not separated well enough. And you can see there they just, on a new release blaster you would have expected just a little more, and it's a little disappointing to me when I had unboxed this. But I wanted to show it in detail. It may or may not be a deal breaker for anyone, but it is worth noting that some of Nerf's newer paint jobs are subpar. Now on to the rest of the review. After showing you the package that you would get if you purchased the AccuTrooper, highlighting what comes with it, as well as showing you the performance of it, and then highlighting what I thought was a noticeable flaw with that very iffy or poor paint job, which if it was on a blaster I painted and had modded, I would definitely be wanting to touch that up with a detailed paintbrush and definitely cover that up where the overspray was and fill in where they missed, because that bothers me. I've painted blasters and that's exactly what I did. I took a very fine brush and made sure my details look good. And they're not going to do that on a production blaster, but the fact that other brands have good clean paint jobs at a lower price is something to think about, and I wanted to make sure to show that and highlight that. But overall, is it worth buying? Well, I'm going to actually say yes. I'm not the biggest Nerf guy, but the overall package, and my reason for saying yes is if you want the parts that are included. Don't just buy it specifically for the blaster, because I see new in-box Elite AccuTroopers. That's how I bought mine. This one here, I bought this one as it was one of the ones that was a Kohl exclusive, and the ones from Kohl's were also in the same price range, but I got it for a little cheaper when it went on sale, and that's a good way to buy that, because the base blaster is the same. But the fact is that it comes with a good stock. Now this stock is very much similar to a worker stock, which is, I own a few of these. Very similar, as you can see there, almost identical in length, very similar in profile. The only difference is this actually has a sling point. And it's a good stock. It's comfortable, fits an adult just fine. It might be a little big if you were to purchase this as a gift for a child, but would fit a teenager or an adult. Me being 5'10", this fits me just right. And the blaster overall has that same feeling. It fits me just right. The Elite AccuTrooper, like mine here, it was always a comfy blaster. Nice grip, good pump. You can wrap your hand all around it. It even came with a guard to rest your pinky against, and it was completely ambidextrous. That's what made it so popular, and I'm glad they brought it back. It's a very good blaster at its core. I mean, it's still, you know, slightly sub 70 FPS, but it's close enough. You might as well just call it an elite level blaster, which there are enough mods out there. I haven't torn this down yet, but I'm almost 100% certain this is a complete copy and paste of the internals, which would mean that the triggers, the springs, the upgrade kits that were developed for the Elite AccuTrooper because it was so popular are going to probably be drop-in fits on this. Only find that out once you tear one down and try it, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So, what do you get? Again, a comfy blaster, performance as expected from a Nerf Elite level blaster, and for $40, at least with my package I ordered as a pre-order item through Walmart's website, I got the blaster, the stock, the drum, and 25 AccuStrike darts, which are Nerf's best darts. So that's not bad. I do wish they would have done a better paint job, and I mean, it looks good. I mean, that looks nice, the paint job. I just wish that their detail was a little better, especially with the price that they ask. Behind me I see things like Zombie Strike paint jobs were good. Busby's paint jobs are pretty good now. I mean, they've got very clean lines. Would have been nice if they'd done the same here. But that's me nitpicking, but I'm going to. What it is, it's an Elite AccuTrooper with a new paint job. You get the attachment point on the front that it never had, and it comes with a fairly good value with the drum and the stock. So this is something I can recommend. And this is Mongoose Jake with my initial look at the Nerf AccuTrooper, which is, for all intents and purposes, their new Elite AccuTrooper, just in the AccuStrike line. Hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.